Hey guys, it's me. It's Jess. I'm sick. I'm sick again. I've been sick a lot. My partner and I have been getting each other sick since January. But I felt really inspired, and I wrote I have a book here for YouTube stuff and writing down stuff, and I've written down pages and pages and pages of stuff because I'm super inspired right now and stuff like that, and I have some energy. Although I'm sick, I have energy, but anyways, just bear with me. I don't like editing, but I will if I have to. So basically this video, oh, and another thing I kind of wanted to clear up is the reason why, I don't know if you guys question this at all or anything, but the reason why I don't share more negative moments or moments of struggle, we'll call them, is because I feel like we all go through them, and we all kind of know to a degree that it's just and I feel like by putting that out there, I'm actually bringing that into my channel or bringing that towards me. Not that there's something to hide, not that there's anything, it's just I want to do videos when I'm feeling really passionate and good, because I believe however I feel and what I'm putting out there is what's going to come back to me, and that's what's going to go through to you guys. So I don't really want you guys just me being really, really super down and you guys watching that, because I don't really feel it's going to benefit. It may feel like it benefits, but I don't think it does personally, through my own experience and watching other YouTubers and stuff too. So my ears are so clogged, it's crazy. So this video, I was going to talk about my experience and opinion on 12-step programs. I went to a 12-step program for the first 2 years of my sobriety with alcohol, and I found it was quite an interesting experience. It took me a while to I eventually left. I couldn't do it anymore. I felt more unwell there than I did away, and I didn't really realize that till I stepped away and finally grasped onto what was right for myself and what I needed to do. So I didn't really know what was right for me. I was kind of just following what the program had said and what people had said and what people expected of me, and I kind of went along with it, and I went along with it for a long time of what people expected of me, and it's never good to do that. And so the whole point of a 12-step program, it was Bill Wilson, an AA, I went to AA, started the program, and it was just simply just so an alcoholic could talk to another alcoholic, a drug addict, whatever, same thing, addict to addict. It's all the same thing. It doesn't matter what, it's all the same kind of treatment, it's all the same kind of whatever. No matter what the issue is, it's all the same treatment in the end that's inside here. So and we all have addictive behaviors in some way or another. So the whole point was for an alcoholic, and okay, this is my opinion, okay, so I just I don't want to discourage you guys if you're going and it's working and stuff like that. Definitely keep doing it then. This is just my experience. But the whole point of was an alcoholic to talk to another alcoholic, which was great. It worked. It kept the few people at the beginning of AA sober, and it kind of grew and grew and grew. But I don't think Bill Wilson actually wanted it. I don't think he actually willed it to be that big, and I don't think he realized that. And as time went on, as groups form in society, it doesn't matter if it's for addictions or religion or some kind of system or whatever, beliefs and values start to become in place. Even in our mental health care, there's beliefs and values within there, and it's egos are formed, and not with the individual, but egos as in as a whole, the ego and stuff like that, and you seem to grasp onto those beliefs and values. So which is a whole other video in itself that I've come to realize. And so basically we'll say that AA or a 12-step program or whatever has an ego, and when it's kind of hurt a little, it will start to act out, and everybody's like will kind of fight for that ego and those beliefs in that program, right? So it's why it's so difficult leaving, or difficult to actually speak up what you believe, and without having like 10 people down your throats. So and the whole purpose is that Bill started this one to another. I don't think he ever intended to have all these values and beliefs and all these things that came up, and then there's the traditions and stuff that came along. But even then, it's so like difficult to follow those and know they're so general, and it's like, to me, it's like more like religion, like cult, like almost. I did say that to someone one time, and he got really angry, but it was my opinion at the time, and it still kind of is in some ways, but whatever, I'm entitled to my opinion. The whole purpose of a program like this is so the alcoholic, I'll just say alcoholic, but I mean like anybody going to any 12-step program, can go and they can basically replace their addiction with that system or that group of people, and you can get your needs met that you're trying to get with that substance or whatever. And the whole point is to take one addiction and fill it in with another addiction. And I started to see this at the very end when I was part of this program. I really saw people who like were addicted, like I have to go meeting, I have to go meeting, I have to go meeting, I have to go every day, like for years and it becomes addiction in itself, and you're not forming any other part of your life but this. And that's where like I started to become aware of some of the stuff, and I'm like, I don't really want that. And I started to become aware of a lot of things I didn't want that I was seeing in people there, people who had been there for many, many years, and I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to still, like, I wanted something more than just what AA had offered, or a 12-step program. And I don't mean it to be rude to anybody. It's great and it works to some people, but for me, I was like, I don't want this. Like, I just legit didn't want it, and I had grown out of it. So anyways, so for me, another problem with it is there's very implanted right or wrong with things there, and people are very close-minded to the fact that some people will have a variety of what's right and wrong for themselves, but it is believed and passed along that what's right for, say, a sponsor is what's right for the sponsee and stuff like that. And I found that to be huge issues with my mental health and my borderline and my PTSD, huge issues. Because that is not what I needed at all in that position at all. I did not need anybody to tell me what to do. I need to figure shit out on my own. I had been, doing what people told me my whole life. I needed to learn how to make these decisions and do things on my own as an independent person. I didn't need to depend on something else or some other person or some sponsor. I needed to learn within myself how to deal with this stuff. So, I found it was actually like kind of controlling in some ways too, because like it was almost like if you did something wrong in someone's perspective, then it was like, well, we can't help you if you don't follow exactly what we tell you, kind of thing. And it's which is kind of gaslighting in itself, I guess you could say. It's kind of very manipulative and very I found it very shaming, particularly with sexuality, recovering from sexual trauma myself and all that kind of stuff in my past and stuff. I found it very shaming. And I remember there was particularly a few men, older men, talking about how there was a young stripper coming in, and like she was still working there but not drinking, and I just remember just like them basically shaming her for that, and I'm like, dude, like, you have no idea, like, and I just felt like it was just so shamed, like a lot of things, and I didn't realize how shamed I felt and how terrible I was feeling in some of these situations until like probably like a year ago. Like, I went and I sought help from a woman's shelter, like crisis center that we have here for like sexual assault and stuff like that, and I was reaching out, And I had gone to an appointment there because I wanted to check out their services and see if it was for me. And like I had said, like there's one thing about AA, and like I kind of said to her, I said, I found it really shaming, and I found it like really not healthy for me trying to get over all this trauma stuff. And she's like, she just turned to me and she's like, you have no idea how many women come through here and say the same thing. So that kind of made me feel like not alone, and that like I wasn't completely nuts, and that yeah, there's other people out there who felt the same way about this program. As I became aware of the program and kind of the negative aspects, which I couldn't really see because I was very closed-minded and almost stuck in a tunnel there, and it's just like fear after fear, and people just throwing fear at each other, and it's honest to God, I feel like it's just like politics in itself. It's just in a different form, and it's just, it didn't help me. And so yeah, and I felt like the program as a whole, like I started to realize how closed-minded it was, and how like I felt like very stigmatized by my mental health in this place where people had mental health. And I'm like, dude, like, and people would like not admit they had mental health, although they had addictions, which is cool. But like, I don't know, I just found it so crazy. And I was like, I just found it so stigmatized against like my sexuality, like, because I know when I was going there, I was discovering things about myself, as I was recovering from all these traumas and stuff, and all this kind of stuff. And there's my sexuality, and the stigma against mental health, and like I just found it brutal. Like there's situations I got into, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a long video, guys. Also, something that bugged me at the time that was difficult for me is I knew that predators were very likely to be there with such vulnerable young girls and stuff, and in such a program like that I felt really like I felt a little unsafe. But I also knew at the same time I didn't feel safe because I was just reliving a lot of trauma. But it also is a very vulnerable place to be, because predators know that that's a place to go when women are like vulnerable and stuff. And it's something I'm just aware of, and if I ever go back again, I'll be really, really aware of. The whole point of going to AA was to replace my drinking with AA. And to me, it was unhealthy, like really unhealthy mentally and emotionally for me by the end, that it was not successful, and it was not fulfilling, and it was not what I needed, and it was not a solution to me to be going to these meetings all the time and stuff. I tried really hard to just like take what I could from it, but in the end I really couldn't do it. Like I tried and I tried because I know it was keeping me off the booze, but like I tried and I tried. This, like, it may be something that's very suitable for some people, and I do recognize that there are some people who are very severely addicted to things that, you know, they can get into a lot of trouble with the law, with people, with beating up people, whatever. Like, I never had that experience. Like, I never had, that wasn't really, so I never needed something to keep me from doing that kind of stuff or whatever. So I felt, I felt when I left, I felt okay. I have, like, since then been working super, super hard on myself still. I'm still working hard on myself. I have not been perfect, but I am still working. And I really felt like, I really feel like the program itself is like actually like a program in the past. I felt like all these traditions were carried over, all these steps were like written like way back in the day, like the whole book was written in the 50s or something. And like I felt like, why are we like, why do we need to like read something or do these steps or anything when we have people right in front of us to like talk about our experience. And I didn't really get that part, and I still don't. Like, it's a program of the past, and the whole program in itself is living in the past. People who are still going there, like, and I'm not judging or anything, but I'm just saying, like, when you're there, you're powerless over alcohol. Whether you believe it or not, you're still powerless over alcohol because you're still around a bunch of alcoholics. And once I started to realize that, I was like, you're still around a bunch of alcoholics. It doesn't matter if you're drinking or not. The fact that you need to be at meetings to be like well in itself, in my opinion, means you're powerless over alcohol. That's my perception and stuff. So, and I found it very interesting when I left and started to realize all this. I was like, whoa. Like, I came aware of all these things that I was like, whoa. But I do believe it works for many people. And I do, there are some real success rates with it. And I don't want to completely bash it. It has its place in the world. This was just my experience and how I feel about it. Will I go back? Yeah, I'll go back if I need to. I will for sure. I think it would take a lot for me to go back. A lot. Like, but I would, but I have a different life now, and I have different tools, and I have a different kind of way of life now. So, I do struggle though, but, it would take a lot for me to go, but I would go back if I had to. So I don't want to shut the door on anything. It's just, if I'm going to go back, knowing I'm going back means knowing that I'm putting myself at risk for some of these experiences and such, to arise again and stuff. So it would have to be worth it. So, I'd have to really need it. So anyways, that's my video on 12-step program and my opinion and my experience, kind of. It's not really like all my experience, but like kind of my opinion and why I left and how I feel about it now. And I do believe if it's working for you guys and you do go to one, then go do it. Like, do whatever works. This is my experience. And so please like, subscribe, and comment below. And please never stop believing in yourself.